Alright, so put this down so you can see. I climbed that tree today, 20 or 25 foot up there. My first time ever using the climbing kit with the flip line and the Spurs and all that good stuff. And it was hard, it was challenging, not as easy as I thought it would be. But I learned a lot, and I had fun, and I was safe. So I wanted to put this video up here. I already know what's going to happen, because anytime you go to a YouTube video of somebody using a chainsaw or climbing a tree, you will get a good handful of guys post up comments talking about how they felled trees for 20 years, and they make it sound like they're the only ones qualified to operate a power saw or qualified to go up a tree. And maybe those guys are great at what they do, but you know, as long as you're safe, as long as you got a good operating knowledge of how to be safe with ropes and have a basic knowledge of climbing, I think you're fine. Safety is the big thing. I will err on the side of safety, even if it takes me 3 hours, you know, to get up 25 feet. I'm going to be safe. That's better than trying to blast up it and making a quick mistake and finding myself waking up on the ground, unable to move my legs or something, you know. So be safe. Alright, so first time in my arborist kit. First time using this little guy. I just picked this up today, MS-193T. For as small as this machine is, I really would have thought it would have been cheaper, but it ain't. So yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. Everything I've learned about this has come from YouTube. I'm a master mountaineer, so I know a thing or two about ropes and knots and friction hitches and lowering devices or lowering systems and raising systems, but as far as tree work, well, I'm pretty new to power saws and felling trees, which is probably not a good thing to be going right up here alone as a beginner, but I think we can make it work. All right. Come here, you. Gotcha. This kit came with a rope grab, which I assume is supposed to be used right here. But what I did not like about it was the carabiner went to the cam part of the rope grab, and it only grabs from one side, so it grabbed fine this way. But if, like, let's say I hooked up to this side of the rope and I tried to put it on, and then the rope grab was sliding this way, it would just free slide. So if I ever switched these around on this side, then it would just free slide going that way. I am not at all comfortable doing this yet. Oh. And I guess that's one of the keys to success when you're first starting out, or even if you've been doing something for a long time, is not getting comfortable. When you get comfortable and you think you know what you're doing, then I guess that's when bad stuff can happen. Alright. I did go up this tree a ways without the saw earlier, just to kind of get a feel for how the gaffs worked and everything. Alright. Choker. Unchoke. Alright. Oh boy. What are we hanging up on over there? Oh, I think I see. Oh, well, there's a little bit of a knot over there. Well, guess I could just walk up over that knot. Oh yeah, that works. All right, get up a little closer to that crap, and we'll cut her off. Oh, that might help. Let's take her off choking. This saw is got a top handle instead of the handle being back here like a normal chainsaw, so it's handier to move around, but they say that the kickback danger is greater because I guess you just have less control with your hand being up here instead of further back here. So allegedly these saws are supposed to be for professionals only. I'm far from a professional, so what I got to do is just make sure I stay off the kickback zone, and I should be fine. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, right? All right, I got a good limb right over here. Needs to come down. Guess I could have gone the other way, so it would have been on my right side. Which is I guess that'll be fine. So I did that in haste. I should have notched the bottom of the limb first. I didn't even think about it. So, remind me next time to do that. Ooh, yeah. Left foot just slipped, I guess. Make sure you got a good foot before you go adjusting your flip line. All right, what am I hanging up on now? That's what I was hanging up on. All right. Oh, that's a little bit too high, too low. Of course, that was small enough I didn't need to notch the bottom, but practice, right? How are we looking? There's a branch right there I better go deal with. Oh, well, that could make for a bad day, huh? So I guess the key to making sure you don't slip out is always watch where you're putting your foot. Don't just assume you know where the trunk is. Get this rope out of the way. I had previously, prior to getting this arborist kit, climbing kit, whatever you call it, had previously thrown this rope up here and ascended the rope using friction hitches and started lopping some branches off. But this tree has a nasty crotch, which is why I'm going up into it. And I realized I was not going to be able to take that crotch out of there with just my rope and my, what do you call it? Sawzall with a pruning blade is what I was using. So that's why I got this kit. I'm going to move over so this thing doesn't fall on me. That might make for a bad day, right? There we go. Now. So I'm up to the this big crotch now. Big crotch. So this is what I was talking about for that rope, that mechanical rope grab. So I just slung this guy up and over. This down here is the main one I've been using this whole time. So I slung the other end up and over. Now I've kind of got two anchors, anchor points, safeties, whatever you want to call them, flip lines, and got to figure out how to get up into this crotch. How am I going to do that? Maybe I should go over to that side and flip around from that way and walk up this front portion here. That's probably what I need to do, get up a few more feet. Yeah. Alright, so I came over to the low side of the tree, low side of this bend on this crotch. Man, I've been up here for probably 30 minutes just in this one spot trying to figure this out. Because of gravity, I keep wanting to drift back down to the low side, so you're not going to be able to walk up the low side, I don't think. I think you're just going to blow out as your gaffs get in here. I think you'll just blow out. So what I did was tie a rope over to this side of the crotch, and got a little clove hitch, and I'm using a little radium release system here to maintain tension to pull myself over to the right. And oh, getting kind of tired. I've probably been up here for 2 hours now, and I'm not very high for being up here for 2 hours. So I need to figure out if I'm going to have to bail on this tree, because I've been up here for a hot minute, or what. So I'm making progress. I think what I figured out is I can come over to the right side of this crotch, and then I think I can walk up this side as long as I can keep myself over to the right, keep myself from barn dooring off to the left-hand side over here. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna try to do. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Come on, you get up there. I better get some tension up on this thing first. Because of the way that this is angled, I'm kind of afraid to just slackline it up there, because it keeps wanting to fall down, and that's pretty scary. Maybe it's fine. I think it's pretty scary. Whew. Every time I try and flip it up, it just wants to settle right back down. When that happens, it's a little scary. So, all right, pull a little bit more tension over here. Myself a little further that way. All right. All right, I'm finally north of that freaking crux, or crotch. Yeah, it's a crux. Good grief, that took way too stinking long. So I had to swing around to the low side and then get over here where I could get some purchase on this tree or this limb over here to keep myself from barn dooring off to the left side, so I could walk up this part down there without it blowing out. Good grief, that was way too much work. There's got to be a better way, and I've got to figure it out, because I burned way too much time and energy doing that. That was horrible. And I'm very thankful that I had this climbing rope up in the tree already. I think from now on, this will have to be a required part of the kit when I come up a tree. I'm going to have I should have probably known that anyway. I'm going to have a rope to be able to bail on, at least, as well as for occasions like these where I got to swing myself around from something else. All right, I had to wrap off. I decided to bail. I was up there for about 3 hours. I finally got past that crotch, but the vast majority of the time was spent problem solving, standing in just about the same spot trying to get over that crotch, or crux as you will. And by the time I got up over it, my feet were shaking, and of course that happens a lot when you're rock climbing. But as I was getting up past the crotch there, I kept going back and forth. I was using some radium release hitches to keep myself from barn dooring off to the left side. And after I tied 10 or 12 of them, I started questioning myself and wondering if I was tying the radium release hitch right. And then so I took a break up at the crotch after I got over it for about 10 minutes, but I was just sketched out. And you know, that's my first time ever using the arborist kit, ever using the chainsaw up in a tree, ever using the gaffs and the flip line. So it's really all about safety. I mean, I'll go up there 10 times if that's what it takes, if I can stay safe doing it, instead of just being able to keep pushing on and make a bad decision and, you know, end up dead or paralyzed for the rest of my life or something. So yeah, I've got a whole lot to learn. Arborist kit's pretty cool though. The flip line is super sketchy though, because sometimes as you're flipping up, sometimes you flip it up and go to weight it and it slides back down, and that's pretty sketchy. And then man, I gotta figure out how to get over those crotches better, because there's no way that professionals can spend that much time up there or waste that much time. So I got a little arborist book, a tree climbing guide that came with my arborist kit, or tree climbing kit, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna pour into that thing tonight and try and learn what I don't know. Thanks for joining me.